And we are live. Good evening, District 81, and all our guests tonight joining us. Happy Toastmasters anniversary. Yes, today we are celebrating 101 years of Toastmasters. Welcome. Thank you for joining us today on another episode of the District 81 podcast. This podcast is to engage members, highlight achievements, and promote Toastmasters Month. It will be on every Wednesday. This is our 1 week before our last episode. And joining us today, we have none other than our district trio, our district director, our program quality director, and also our club growth director. Today, we are going to talk about voices of leadership. And we want to welcome our trio. And I would like to know from the trio, state briefly what inspired you into your journey of Toastmasters leadership, and what has been the most rewarding part of serving as as a district leader, as a district at the district level also? Yes, I will start with our district director. Welcome.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Malushka. And happy 101 anniversary to our Toastmasters in District 81, and of course, anyone joining us outside of the Caribbean. Now, one of the things that really contributed to my journey in Toastmasters in terms of leadership would have been for two reasons. One, personal growth and development. I've been able to reflect on where I started in the program and how much the program has contributed to me as an individual. And because of that growth journey, I have been eager to continue on the path of leadership. And the second reason is because of how I've been benefiting from the program. I recognize that in order for the program to really continue successfully, we need to have persons rising up to serve because that helps with the sustainability within the organization. And so once the opportunity continues to present itself, I was always willing to be able to put, as they said, put your hand, put your towel in the ring to be a part of that process to ensure there is sustainability.
Yes, indeed, indeed. Thank you for that answer. Program quality director. How has your journey been?
Thank you so much. And greetings, District 81. It is really a privilege to be here to celebrate the 101st anniversary of Toastmasters International. I've gotten so much out of Toastmasters in the years that I've been a Toastmaster. Friendships, growth, development opportunities. So it's only right that I give back, that I share what I have received and help to build others. That is why I'm here. And I every day I'm humbled by the opportunity and the support that I'm getting, not just from District 81, but from my counterparts across the world. It's really a good network opportunity.
Exactly, exactly. Yes, I heard sustainability. I heard from you now. Help networking also and help build others. That's very nice. Thank you for sharing that with us, Madam Program Quality Director. And Club Grow Director, tell us what has your journey been and what was so rewarding for you through this journey?
First of all, happy 101 anniversary to all that if you are a member, if you are a member yet, join us so you can celebrate 102. My journey began with a desire to help others find their voice, as Toastmaster helped me find my voice when I joined in 2017. And the most rewarding part, I will say, is to see how members or prospect members come in as curious guests, and then they get confident with the speaking, with the communication part, and then they go also on the leadership part. So that's the thing that for me is giving back. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Club Co-Director. Yes, giving back. Wow. There are so much in giving back indeed. And I love the answers because all of them help build others also to take the step to be on the leadership. Tell me, what are some, no, tell me as we celebrate, because we are in the celebration month, but exactly today, we celebrate 101 years. How has the progress of District 81 been up till now? What are the moments or the milestones that stand out most this far until October of this year? District Director.
Ars, I think one of the things that particularly stands out for me is the engagement among members to participate in the initiatives that we have. And this year we brought out the initiative of the milestone map in collaboration with PRM. And it really allows for members to be engaged beyond just the club alone getting a prize. So it allows the members to be active and be engaged. And I think that that really stands out for me as one of the progress and celebratory points because I've seen members really going the extra mile to submit and to be a part of this journey. Only recently, there was a member that reached out to say, you know what, I was really feeling demotivated by Toastmasters. I was not considering to renew, but this milestone map initiative provided me with an opportunity to be intentional about doing specific things to continue to grow in the system. So it made me realize that, as leaders, as Toastmasters, we need to continue to be creative, think outside of the box so that we can continue to have that season of engagement. And it's the same for our clubs. If we continue to do things in a routine manner, is going to become mundane. So, how can we step outside of our comfort zones, still implementing the rules, but being creative with what we're able to do, so that persons get excited and rejuvenated by the journey and what we're offering in the program.
Indeed, indeed, Madam Didi, because I saw a lot of videos going on now. You cannot imagine. I saw a lot of videos these days. So I'm very happy because the milestone initiative, yes, it's helping, and each month we are getting more and more people engaged, and we are very proud of that, of seeing how persons get engaged and not hold it into Toastmasters only, but going outside of Toastmasters into the community to reach other members also. Club Grow Director, what has been your milestone up till now?
My one that stand out is the first new club that we chartered. It was like woo, celebrating. Yes, and we have another one, and we have like seven more in the pipeline. So although we have our struggling with payments of the renewal, but I look forward to celebrate the birth of all those clubs and many more, because launching clubs is very important to support the initiative that we are doing, like now with the open house, that a lot of clubs are holding their open house during October, the Toastmaster month. and that we hope that we can celebrate also their achievement.
Exactly, exactly, indeed. Our first club, and we have two clubs already, and more to come. But yes, indeed, that was
Yes,
an awesome milestone, and now I'm indeed seeing a lot of open houses going on. So we are expecting a lot of members coming in also, indeed, between these months, upcoming months.
yes.
Madam Program Quality Director, and for you, what has been your milestone that you look back to?
In my home club, we decided to do something new this year, which we've done an experiment that I'm going to share across the district. We had quite a few new members. So we had a session for them over a month where we had what we called nesting. And we, together with their mentors, got them through level one in a month. They're engaged. We trained them. They did their speeches. So I can testify that it works. And now I'm going to share across the district and see how we can implement that because pathways engagement is a challenge. And I tell you, I see these people, I can't believe it. They are on to level two. One of them, he started late and we thought, oh, he wouldn't be able to catch up. And he came and he said, I'm ready with my icebreaker. And I tell you, it can be done. We just need to motivate them. We just need to give them something that I will, in the next week or so, share and see how we can implement it so that we get those pathways awards.
Exactly, exactly. Thank you so much, Madam PQD. Indeed, motivating the members to do, and I see, indeed, as you said, I see some members, they are engaged and they don't want to wait. They want to get in, get moving because they are there for something. So yes, let's keep engaging them and keep empowering them to do to be greater. Yes. And we have a question in the chat. Please give some practical examples how to grow clubs in 2025, 2026. I think this is for you, Madam Club Grow Director.
Thank you very much for that question. I think building a new club is you have to see what is the leads, what are the needs of your community. If you have like a corporate and you see that Toastmaster can help that corporate to be better as professionals, but also as communicator, and that can be used everywhere in your life. So it's professional, but it can also be personal. So when you have the lead, and then you get the 20 members to form a club, the easy way is to contact our Club Growth team, and then we will help you to grow the club. And then the sponsors and the mentor will be on your team to help you grow a new club. So it's not difficult. It it requires a lot of work in the beginning, but when you see all the members that are so engaged and that they have find a safe place to share their ideas, because you may have members or prospective members that have a lot in their mind but they don't know how to share it, and
Yeah.
that's one of the things benefits of Toastmaster. So you share your journey and you get people on board with you, and then you have a new club.
Indeed, indeed. And I think the best PR that we can do is sharing our journey. I think
Yes.
that that's the best PR that we can do because when we share our journey with other persons, they get inspired and they get engaged. In either way, they will join without asking a lot because they know what you have been through and what you have learned, and I believe that they will join those masses. So the best
Yes.
PR is the mouth to mouth PR, and let other persons also join our clubs.
Yes.
What does empowering members through leadership mean to you personally? What does empowering members through leadership mean to you personally, Madam Program Quality Director? Can can you take that over, Madam Didi?
Sure, no problem. So, there's a saying, when you see something, say something. It's usually in connection with, a suspicious activity or a negative premise. But when I think of that particular saying, I think of it from an opportunity perspective. If you see an opportunity, if you see potential, then say something or do something about it. And so, as a leader, I tend to utilize that a lot to be able to empower members through my leadership journey. And I do that by identifying, for persons where opportunity lies, things that they can tap into to be able to ensure that they grow as individuals. And then also as a leader, doing projects that are beneficial for members. So I tend to try to find projects that are, again, outside of the box so that it helps to support other members and empower other members. So just recently, I hosted an HPL project on authors showcase, looking at authors across the Caribbean who are Toastmasters and giving them that space to share their work as an author. So, from time to time, being able to identify opportunities that exist and say something to individuals so that they can tap into that, or to do projects directly that will provide that type of empowerment and that type of connection for members so that they're able to grow. So I utilize the leadership platform to be able to do that. Because as you know, sometimes it's easier as a leader to have access to members and the pool that exists. So it helps with that journey. So utilizing that space and that place to be able to provide that type of empowerment and leadership.
Exactly, exactly. See something, say something. And I liked the authors showcase that you did for an HPL, and indeed, out of the box thinking. Sometimes I notice persons have something in mind, but they don't want to do it because I don't know what's holding them back, but they have something in mind, but they cannot put it into the pathways. That's why there are leaders, there are mentors. Do ask the leaders, do ask the mentors who can give you an advice on how to put it in a project. And that's very important because everything is a project. You can almost everything is a project. So utilize those opportunities very good because it's an opportunity for you to learn, but also to do your pathways projects. How do you as District Trio work together to create opportunities for members to grow, lead, and shine? How do you as the District Trio work together to create opportunities for members to grow, lead, and shine? Madam Club Grow Director.
We collaborate closely. We have weekly, we sit together, and although we are far from each other, but we are very close as we have our weekly, let's say, it's not you call that a meeting, but for me it's an empowering, because being the one that has joined the trio, that's very good for me to learn from from both the PQD as the Madame Didi. So what I think that will do that we are aligning our goals, sharing insights, and supporting each other initiatives. So when, let's say, Madame PQD has an Zoom call, we join to give her the support, and whenever DD has also the part of the high performance leadership, we were there. So it's like a team that has been together for longer than only those 4 months.
Yes, 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 indeed. And I think this can be taken back to the clubs, because as executives also you are there as a team to empower each other. This is very nice. So when one has a project to do, the other one joins into doing it, and that's very nice, and I think clubs would benefit of that teamwork also. So
Yes.
yes, I hope every club takes this back as a nugget. Join each other during your it that doesn't mean it has not to be only the executive meeting where you are joining each other, but also in projects that you are you are doing, because
Mhm.
ultimately I think you guys are also doing your pathways projects, right?
Yes. Leading by example.
Exactly, exactly. Madam PQD, what are
Yes.
some examples of members or clubs that have truly embodied the spirit of empowerment this year?
Wow. I think one of the things that we have ensured is that we're leading from the front. So while I don't want to toot our own horns, but I think it's important that we ensure that our clubs are doing more than just knock it out of the park. They're everything they do, they just do things, take it to another level. The clubs, several of the clubs in Haiti, like the Bees, I
Mhm.
find that, and some of the younger clubs, it's not just the more experienced clubs. We need to interclub, because when we interclub, we get so many ideas. We visit newer clubs, we visit older clubs. We all must learn and share from each other and take back nuggets. Sometimes you tweak it because you need to make that little spin to make it differently. Look at all of the things that are happening for October, for Toasttober. Look at the different things. I saw the Toastmasters Club published a newsletter. Oh my gosh, I saw so many articles that I think I need to steal the ideas. The NIC today, they had their table topics contest, just to name a few. I think so many of us are just knocking it out of the park. And we just need to share, support, collaborate. And we've got it.
Yes, indeed, indeed. And I must say I visited the bees one time and I like something that they do. They send out a Google form for members to for guests to fill in, and they will contact you later. So I was very that was very nice to see how they engage with their guests. And also I noticed the dynamic speakers and also the bees that they hosted new member orientation, and I
Mhm.
like that very much. So I wanted to take back that to my club also, so that that's very important to get. If you have new members in one time, you have a lot of members, to get them engaged into the process and not one to ones. So I like that very much. I'm seeing a lot of clubs doing their best to promote those masters and be very engaged in some meetings. I visited some other clubs. I like to visit some different clubs because in every, I think in every club you have something that yeah, that you can take away to your clubs itself or to recommend in other clubs. I have a question in the chat for Madam Didi. Which leaders' voices have most influenced you, and how do you emulate their strengths?
So if I think of Toastmasters, I think the leader that comes to mind would be IPDD Elka. And the reason is when I started in the leadership journey at the district level, well, coming beyond the area level, I started as admin manager, and she was the outgoing admin manager. And then I moved on to club growth, and she was the outgoing club growth. Then PQD, and she was so there was this, for that few years. So every time I needed to transition into a new role, it was IPDD Elka that needed to provide the transition notes and guide on the process as we move from one leadership position to the next. And through that process, she has always demonstrated that willingness to ensure that she provided insights and she provided guidance so that that kind of success will be able to continue. So that's one of the particular things that I know I loved about that journey and that leadership process with her. And a strength I would say from her that really connects with me is her calm demeanor. She has a spirit that allows things to just feel calm. So even if you're feeling flustered or you're feeling like it's so overwhelming or things are not going according to plan, just her calmness helps to allow how you're feeling to be settled. So I think from that strength it allows me to be able to emulate that and to recognize that in some moments you really and truly can't have full control. So like the great saying go, whatever you have you're able to control, then that's within your control. And if you can't control it, you allow yourself to not be flustered, but you find peace in the midst of the chaos, in a sense. So I would say IPDD Alka, because it's been what 5 years of that journey along the leadership process at this level, where she would have been on that process, and her skill sets and her ability to provide guidance is truly commendable. Yeah.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for sharing that. I didn't notice that. Thank you for sharing. Nice. 5 years already that you are working together, and that's nice to see how that's transitions and that's transitioning of leadership also. And I think this is a good recommendation for our clubs also, when because we always have to work on transition for the next year. Why not hold someone's hand that you see that you see that there's potential in them, and go with them so that you can transition, and when the time is right you can transition calmly and peacefully through the year. Thank you for sharing, Madam Didi. Madam CGD, how can clubs keep new members more engaged? How can clubs keep new members more engaged?
As you said, I think the clue here is the mentoring. Mentoring a new member, and that starts from the beginning as you hold their hands and go through the whole part of new members orientation, but also sharing your journey with them. This not only growing with them, but if you share what where you started, because mentors they are looked upon and they don't know that we also started with a lot of but we were that far and now we are growing, so that they can see there is a path that they can grow along, and then let them share what they need to get from Toastmaster, because everyone enters with their own needs.
Yeah.
And if you have a new member that you can supply their needs, you can get a member for life. But if you don't supply their needs and you say, no, you have to do this, icebreaker and this one, but you don't connect with each other. And that's very important for new members to feel connected with their mentors. And if they can go the journey, that's the better. They will become a good mentor for their mentees. And so on, we will be going.
Exactly, exactly. Yes, we make mentors, and the mentors pass along the knowledge, and then we go on. Exactly. But how do we get more mentors? I think program quality director. How do we get new how we do we get members to be mentors also? How do we do that?
One of the important things is, as CGD said, we have to nurture the new member so that the member sees the value in mentorship. I have not forgotten my very first mentor. I think the foundation that she set, the path that she put me on, I am still on today. Although she is deceased, but and many people say that about her. So the example that she gave me, that was one thing that has stayed with me. We have to see that we need to pay it forward. Someone helped us and nurtured us. We must do likewise. And hey, if your that was not your experience, then you need to make it differently and go
Exactly.
and nurture someone and be that change that you would have liked to see. So either way, mentorship is key. As CGD also said, share your experience, where you're coming from, the good and the bad. What happened? How you got over it? Who helped you? And we will find that mentorship is also another opportunity to continue to grow in Toastmasters. Because to be a mentor, I believe, you've got to know the program, you've got to share, you've got to be aware of what's happening. So it keeps you fresh as well. So
Yeah.
there are no negatives for being a mentor. It's a win, win, win. It's a win for you, it's a win for the club, and it's a win for the protege.
Exactly, exactly. And yes, we have a Pathways mentoring program that can guide you also to be a mentor. So you don't have to be afraid of not trying. It's trying and believing in yourself and go on. That's very important. And why not? It's a great opportunity to pass on knowledge. That's very important. How do you encourage? How do you encourage members to celebrate their growth? That's sometimes we see ourselves go on, we move on, but we don't celebrate the little moments that you made. How do you encourage member to celebrate that, Madam Didi?
So it really starts, I think, from the member level as well as the club level. As an individual, celebrating the small wins, recognizing what your individual goals are, and when you would have achieved them, really taking the moment to pause and to celebrate that. And the celebration can be different for different people. For some people, it's them just making a post on social media to say, hey, I just completed my icebreaker speech, and they're all excited about that. For some people, it means going out and just buying yourself an ice cream cone because it allows you to just sit and to enjoy that flavor and to celebrate that moment. For others, it means, taking a weekend off just to reflect and rejuvenate. So the celebration will vary depending on how persons choose to celebrate. But it's important that you take the moment to celebrate the small wins. It doesn't have to be the big accomplishments. You don't have to wait until you complete an entire part, achieve a DTM. It could be that project that you've been stuck at for quite a long time because you weren't having the courage to move forward, but you finally got over that hurdle and you were able to do that. It could be that you always wanted to take up a leadership position, but you were feeling intimidated, but you finally decided, I'm going to put my foot forward and I'm going to take up the treasurer role or the VPE role. And then you're having those little successes along the journey. So pausing to celebrate the small wins and giving yourself that tap on the shoulder that you're doing well, you're doing a great job, and reflecting on where you came from. It's important too to allow yourself the moments to reflect where you came from, where your journey started from, so that you can appreciate where you are now. And at the club level, having that moments to really and truly pause to celebrate members when they achieve stuff, whether it be in the club or outside of the club, having persons celebrate them and share those kudos. Not everyone wants to be spotlighted like that, but understanding the personalities and celebrating persons in those unique ways, allowing them to feel appreciated based on their accomplishments throughout the process.
Indeed, indeed. Celebrate those small wins. That's very important. And that's what's nice, Didi, because we tend to look forward for the big wins, but those small wins are much more important because they are the stepping stones for the bigger wins. So please, fellow Toastmasters, do celebrate your small wins. Do share about it if you want, but celebrate it and be proud of your moment. Yes, for members that they don't see themselves as leaders yet, how would you inspire them to take the next step, Madam Program Quality Director? How do you inspire other persons to take that step, take that leap of faith, and go for a leadership position? Whether it's in your club or at area, division, or district level, but how do we empower or, yeah, inspire persons to take that step?
First of all, mentorship. Because I believe that the mentor's responsibility is not just to talk about the speeches that someone has to do. If you're really mentoring someone, you need to know what are their interests, what are their goals, and show them the various opportunities. People shy away from leadership roles because they don't necessarily see themselves as leaders. So we have to give them those opportunities. And sometimes it's small. There's a project in the club. Encourage them to do that, to take on that, to lead it, and give them the tools, support them, guide them. When they've done well, give them that evaluation, give them the kudos and the growth points, and gently, and sometimes you have to give them a little push. You will find it works. I've seen so many times as a Toastmaster. I have looked at people and said, why don't you try X or Y? And it's, what? Me? I don't think so. But when you show them that they can do it, and of course, you can't leave them alone. You've got to, whether you are going to support them or find the support for them, and you see there's so many benefits, so many benefits, but we have to let people see that they have it in them. And
Yes.
I think that if we do that, we will stop having the challenges. In fact, if you notice over the past few years, District 81 is not having the challenges that some other districts are having in finding people to take on leadership roles. So we must be doing something right because little by little, we are empowering and encouraging our members to step up, and it is reaping dividends.
Exactly, exactly. Thank you for sharing. Yes. And I think some persons don't see their potential. And like you said, you have to push them in that direction or show them the way so that they can take on that step and be a leader. We all learned to be a leader. So I think, yes, thank you for sharing that. Madam Club Director, what was one of your biggest lessons learned as in your leadership position, what was one of your biggest lessons learned?
If I take this term up to now, I would say that growth take patience and persistence. That's the biggest lesson I've learned because I'm someone that goes and goes and go on, but when I got this position, I had to lay back and let each club do it by their you call that the way they want to do it. So you can push the club to grow or push it to take a club coach if they are not
Mhm.
ready to do it. You see
Yeah.
it, but if the club is not ready to do it, it won't help. And that's one of my lessons because patience is not one of my biggest who you call that? I need patience.
Virtues.
I think I have to borrow some from my husband because he has a
Oh
lot.
yes, he has a lot. He has a lot indeed.
But I don't. And that has helped me now to grow to be a better leader and a better person. So that's the journey that you learn from each step that you take. And it may not always go as fast as you want to, but there is a saying if you want to go farther, you have to go together. And together doesn't mean to go fast. So that's one of
Yeah.
my lessons in those 4 months that we have as club that I have as club growth director. That I've learned a lot to have patience and be persistent.
Yes, yes, indeed. Patience. Madam Club Pro Director learned a lot about patience this only in 4 months. Yes, we are up in 4 months now. And yes, indeed, patience is one of those things that we learn during our leadership journeys also. Because I tend to want things done also. But yes, I know how you feel about that. Thank you so much for sharing. Madam Didi, how has this experience deepened your appreciation for the Toastmasters community? How has your experience as leader deepened your appreciation for the Toastmasters community?
In the journey, I have recognized that Toastmasters is a safe space for authentic expression. Like we have the opportunity to speak and to express ourselves. There are many spaces that you go into and you want to say so much, but the environment doesn't allow you to be able to express. So Toastmasters has allowed me to be able to go through that experiential learning of being able to express myself. And with that expression, it has allowed me to build confidence and competence. So that when I go into certain spaces, I don't feel as though I am not able to express myself. And one of the things that I say to myself and I continue to say to myself is that I have a voice. My voice has value, and that value has impact. And I've been able to craft that particular mantra that I repeat to myself because of my experiences in Toastmasters. And so it has allowed me to recognize that here what I have a voice. So if I have something to add in a particular space, I have a voice to be able to do just that. And regardless of who is sitting in the space, just as your voice have value, my voice also has value. And Toastmasters leadership and experience has helped me to really and truly believe in that conviction. And then finally, definitely, because my voice have value, that value is going to have impact. Because when it takes one person that is going to change something for them or is going to motivate or benefit them in one way or the other, that's a lot. One is a lot. And so it really helps me to continue to believe in that journey of Toastmasters, providing that safe space for us to really be able to express ourselves as authentic as we can, so that when we go outside of the Toastmasters world, we can do so with no excuses and we don't have to ask for permission. Because guess what? You have a voice, your voice has value, and that value has impact.
Wow, wow. Thank you, Madam Didi. Fellow Toastmasters, you heard your voice has impact and your voice has value and that value has impact. I need to write that down, Madam Didi. Your voice has value and that value has impact. That's very important. And go out and express yourself. Do what we do best. We are here to communicate. And yes, why not? Go to space, go to places that you can express yourself more and give your voice more value. So as we are closing up, we are closing up. I want to look ahead because we are only 4 months in this journey. We are in October. We are celebrating 101 anniversary. But Madam Program Quality Director, as we are continuing this journey, what can Toastmasters expect from upcoming months that we are coming to? What do members have to expect?
Well, first and foremost, we are planning to have a very exciting conference in May. And some people may look at it and say, okay, it's the final one. But guess what? Let's not look at it that way. It's the culmination of and the ending of a journey and of a chapter and the start of a new one. So let's embrace it and embrace that change. So that's the first thing. And yes, I know you're anxiously waiting for more information. You will get it soon. So let's gear up. We are looking for some stellar contests as well. And of course, we have our looking forward to officers and potential officers empowering themselves to continue the journey.
Yes, thank you, and yes, we are excited to hear some more news about what's coming up in conference upcoming May. Madam Club Pro Director, you what do we have to expect these upcoming months?
What I have been saying that no member will have to be left behind. So we will go all together. You know the Ubuntu
Ubuntu,
that
yes.
all the children took hands and then they went together to get the, let's say, the achievement, because every member has its own achievement to reach. So when we go to the, let's say, the ending of this chapter that Madame Clicro Director spoke about, that I will have mixed feelings because I also look at the opportunities that are ahead. Because now we will be separated, but with the friendship that we has built during those years, it's not a separation. It's getting more members on board
Exactly.
and more places that they haven't learned about Toastmaster. So that transition is about opportunities too. So that's what I think every member should look into or up to the coming months of this particular Toastmaster year for us. And then when we go our separate ways, we will be reaching out to new opportunities, but we will have also the friendship that we have built during those years as District 81.
Yes,
So I'm looking forward to the next months that coming ahead with new clubs and new members on board.
Yes, indeed, Madam Club Grow Director. And I think we have an upcoming campaign also for Club Growth this
We have
November.
a lot. We have a lot of campaigns coming up. So the
And
next one will be now like when we when you give a gift of growth, because when we usually do with Thanksgiving or with Christmas, you give a gift to someone or a family member. So what about give a gift of a membership into Toastmaster? So that membership you will be giving it away, but it will be a growth opportunity for the one receiving the gift. So that's coming up.
nice, nice, nice. That's very interesting. A gift of growth. That's very interesting. So, members, stay pending because I know our members do like those campaigns. Madam Didi, are we continuing with the milestone map? Because I saw someone tell in the chat that they didn't participate in the milestone map this month, but they still can, I think.
We do have many, many more coming up. Yes.
Yes. Okay. We are almost at the end of this awesome meeting. We talked awesome podcast. We talked about a lot of things this evening. We talked about membership. We talked about leadership. We talked about how to grow members, how to be mentors, how other Toastmasters can be mentors also, how to grow our clubs. But I want you to tell me, the district trio to tell me, if you could leave members with one message of encouragement or celebration. It can be either encouragement or celebration. What would it be? Madam Program Quality Director, let us start with you. What would it be that we want to leave members with this evening?
I want members to remember that Toastmasters is their program. Toastmasters, the member is at the top of the membership pyramid of the Toastmasters pyramid. You are the person, you are the one that everything, all of the organization is there to support. So don't look at pathways as, oh, I've got to do, the club needs a point. Look at how you can empower yourself and
Mhm.
help the club to empower you. The points will come.
Yes.
You look at developing yourself. That's what Dr. Smedley said. We came to Toastmasters to build ourselves, and in doing so, we build others. That's the whole point why we are here. Every member, focus on your development. Focus on your development. Focus on you and see the difference that it will make.
Nice. Focus on your development. That's very important. As you said, Madam PQD, when you focus on your development, other members will see and they will automatically follow. Indeed. Madam Club Pro Director, what do you want to encourage members with this evening?
I have not one, but two things that I want to share. The first thing is whether you are speaking or you're leading or you're mentoring, know that you are making a difference. As Madam Didi said, it takes only one, but when you reach that one person, you make a difference in their life. And that's all about what we are here. And as I usually say with my motto, we are here to serve. Otherwise, we do not deserve to be here. So, being the servant leader that you can empower others around you. And it's not only about members, but also your community.
Yes, nice. Thank you, Madam. Club Pro Director, it's not only about you, but it's about sharing also with others in your community. And don't let it in your Toastmasters Club, but share it with your community. That's very nice. Madam Didi, what would you encourage members with? But how do you describe also the spirit of District 81? How do you describe that?
So the encouragement to members would be that if you really want to live to your fullest potential, then it means that you have to do things that are sometimes uncomfortable. And it means that you have to put on your wings and allow yourself to fly. And fly in this sense is an acronym that is used consistently that says you need to first lead yourself. And to lead yourself first, it means that you have to show up and show up for yourself so that you can be able to reach to that potential that you truly are destined to reach to. So you have to be able to fly, put on those wings, and first lead yourself so that you can be able to reach to that particular height that you're looking to go towards. As it relates to celebration and the spirit of District 81, I believe that District 81 as the Caribbean, really and truly, as we like to say, it's a pot of experiences and energy and spirit that is like no other. It is where our growth and our potential stands out. When we show up and we go into certain spaces, person tend to know that, oh, you're from the Caribbean, because there's something about us that is so flavorful that we add that little sauce, that little spice, that little seasoning to the pot of the experiences. And so as District 81, that's the kind of footprints that we want to leave and the kind of energy that we want to carry on. As CGD said, we will transition into two different spaces. But guess what? We're able to enjoy two sets of opportunities and experiences because of who we are as leaders. So remember that as a district, we are growth oriented and we have the energy and the spice to match those vibes and those words.
Wow, yes, we are the
Nice.
Caribbean and we feel it, and we know that we we are very engaged with each other, and that separation will not separate us because we are and we will still be Caribbean people. Thank you, District Trio. Thank you for joining me tonight. Tonight, I did this podcast because our fellow Toastmaster Oliver wasn't here, but yes, we always have a backup plan. And I'm very, very pleased to have talked to you this evening and share with our members on this awesome 101 anniversary. As we are finalizing, this District 81 podcast is for you, fellow Toastmasters, and for guests. Invite them to watch our previous interviews because there were a lot of nuggets shared during all of our podcasts. The goal is to inspire, to educate, provide value to members and non members, like by highlighting key Toastmasters teams, leadership insights, and skills development. Thank you. Thank you for joining us today. And we will meet next week for our last podcast. It's already our last podcast next week, but we will meet next week. And who knows, in the future we can have another season for podcasts. Have a nice night, and we will see each other next week.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.